Good morning, boys and girls, family, friends. Today on Fruit with Friends, I'm having banana again today. Yeah, it's not that I'm poor or anything, but my son eats a lot of bananas, so the ones that he doesn't get to, I end up eating those. He has an issue with the speckles on the skin. When there's too many, he refuses the banana, so mommy ends up eating it. Anyway, so today on Fruit with Friends, it's Friday. I'm filming this Friday morning, and discussion today, well, last night I was actually doing some research on things that I guess single folks or people look forward to doing on the weekends, and one of them was a one-night stand. So I said, let me just amuse myself and type in Google planning a one-night stand. Oh my goodness, people actually plan these things. Where have I been? Anyway, so I was looking at a couple of blogs and questions that people ask that or consider for themselves before going ahead and doing that. So I'm going to share today with anyone who is probably going through a rough trial right now. Probably had an argument last night, Wednesday, it's still going on, a breakup happened, and you're looking to maybe have a one-night stand to take the edge off. I'll give you my opinion at the end of this, but we're going to go through. Oh, this is my my mug I showed you in my haul from Indigo. Yeah, it's just got some water in it, don't worry, it's nothing, no strong drink. Anyway, so I'm going to go through a couple of the questions that, I'm not going to say these women, but these people asked or consider. The first question is, where do I find a one-night stand? Well, in this day and age, I think it's pretty easy. Your cell phone would probably be the quickest, I think, in this day and age. My day and age will probably be in a club or a party, but where would you find a one-night stand? The second question I have here is, do I go to his place or mine? So I guess this is coming from a girl. Well, if you're planning a one-night stand, which really isn't a good thing to do, but if you're planning it, his place or your place, my opinion, are the same. For the act that's involved, whether it's done my place, his place, your place, it's a one-night stand. It's not a good thing to do. So it doesn't matter where you're doing it. Just don't do it. But if you're going to do it wherever. What if he tries something I'm not comfortable with? Okay. Now, if this question arises now, the fact you've come to this question, you should stop right there. Cut it off. You ain't doing this one-night stand, because now fear is taking precedence in your awareness, because that's what it is. You're aware of the act that you're considering, and now the acknowledgement of that awareness is bringing up the consequences, which would be fear in this regard. So if you're going to have this question, my advice is to stop right there. Don't even think about it. But again, if you're thinking about planning the one-night stand, I would say the table's open, all bets are open, right? I can't believe people think about this. Next question, what if I forgot to shave my legs? Okay. You think about that when you're gonna have a one-night stand, really? So I'm gonna have some fruit. When one does not have something good to say, one closes their mouth. So I don't have anything good to say to that question. I don't have an answer that's a good one. So we're going to move on to the next one. Am I supposed to cook him breakfast the next morning? You're not supposed to be doing anything in his house or your house in regards to cooking. No, it's not. That's not what he's there for, or you're there for. You're there for a one-night stand. There is no complimentary breakfast or anything. There isn't even a complimentary breakfast at most hotels if you're going for a weekend getaway. Like, you have to find the packages with the hotels that accommodate the complimentary breakfast. So you giving complimentary goods the night before, complimentary breakfast the morning after. Hey, put the number out there if that's what you're considering. But no, you don't give complimentary breakfast at a one-night stand. Pick up your phone and your keys and you go on your way. One night, not one night and one morning, one night. Next question. The last time I had a one-night stand, I called out my ex's name. What if I do this again? So I call my other son's name. I call this daughter that daughter's name. It happens. People's minds go all over the place. So again, there's no connection. There's no relationship or connection there. So if you call him Peter, Bill, Bob, and his name's Michael or James, whatever. If he calls you Karen and your name is Trish, I mean, are you going to take offense? Maybe Karen was there last night, and you know, again, you're there for one thing. That's it. He's there for one thing. So don't be trying to connect other dots to the equation, because they're not required. They're not a part of this. Does this make me a slut? I don't personally like to tag names towards how people choose to conduct their lives. If a friend of mine likes to sleep around and meet her Joe Grind and she got 5 on the go, hey, that's a business. I ain't calling her a slut. I ain't calling her a businesswoman. She's my friend and she does her thing. What she does is not my business. What you do is not my business. What he does, that's you. There's no, if you want to call yourself that, that's on you. But if anyone calls you that, so their opinion, but what you want to call yourself, what you think you are, is all that matters, basically. So if you think it makes you a slut, then, and what you perceive a slut to be, then again, the final decision is on you. Next question. What if he never calls me even though he says he will? Yeah. Well. Once the door closes, the handshake is complete, basically. Once he leaves or once you leave and the door closes, that's the handshake for the end of the deal. So you shouldn't be looking for any phone calls. The transaction is complete. Whether he says he will or not, it was address or acknowledge. It was a deal. The deal was made, hands were shaken, and it's done. No promises come after that. And if he says he will, again, it's done. The deal is done. We'll take it from there if it happens. But what you were present for is all that mattered, and keep on cruising. Is this a good idea? I could sum that up in 3 words. No, it's not. No, it's never a good idea to plan a one-night stand. If you have to stop at the wine store and grab yourself a bottle of wine, call a girlfriend over, or even a guy friend, if you have a guy friend that you can trust or feel comfortable speaking to take the edge off whatever it is you're feeling. It's safer, it's healthier, it's wiser. Look up some advice online if you see any people like myself that can share advice on the questions you're asking yourself and looking for answers on. But it's never a good idea to plan a one-night stand. I told a friend once that one-night stands, you have to consider yourself as, take your cell phone for instance, or your keys. They're always sitting at either in your bag or on the side table by the front door. What are they doing? They're sitting there waiting to be used for their purpose. Cell phone, my glasses, they're sitting here. I don't need them, but when I want them, I'm going to pick them up and put them on. And when I don't want them, I go back to where I could find them. And in regards to this topic here of being a one-night stand, that's basically, that's what you are to the other person. Something to pick up when they need you, and when they don't, they'll place you back there in their phone or wherever it is they find you when they need you. And if that's what you're comfortable with, then hey, do it. But if you don't want to be regarded as a keys or a cell phone that's just picked up when they're needed and dropped back down until the next time, then no, this lifestyle is not for you. And it doesn't help you in any way. It really doesn't. It doesn't make sense. So I wouldn't suggest or advise, or if you have friends that consider doing it, or if they like doing it, hey, don't get in the way of that. You can shed as much advice and love to them and to how safe it is to do that, which it isn't. But if they start adding feelings and feeling depressed about it, feed them some wisdom and let them know what you're doing is like this. If you need your cell phone, you pick it up, you use it, you text, you fling it back down. That is what you are making yourself for that person. And if they wake up to that, great, maybe they will stop, because they don't want to feel like my fork. I'm going to pick it up right now to pick up a piece of banana and eat it. Not right now, but other than that, I don't need it for anything else. And a lot of girls or guys can accidentally miss that fact, acknowledging it, because life is so quick. But take a step back sometimes and research. If you're thinking about doing it, research it, and then come up with your own conclusions on what you want to do. So if you're watching this on a Friday and you're thinking about having a one-night stand, I hope this video helps and edifies you with a little knowledge and wisdom. And whether you end up doing it once you sign off this video, that's up to you, none of my business. But if this video helped you in any way, then I've done my job. And then you can give me a like and maybe subscribe. I'm gonna do more content videos on these issues, as there are I'm seeing a lot of advice going out there, good and a lot bad, and I don't want young people of today's generation that I can help looking over these suggestions and ideas and going into the world with them, because they can make huge mistakes with their lives, and your life is precious. You should take it seriously. You only get one. So with that said, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me on Fruit with Friends, and catch you next week.